Welcome. Well, you're at home with Jim and Joy, and you are an important part of our EWTN family, and we're so delighted that you've welcomed us into your home. We certainly would love to hear from you, so please send us an email with a question or a comment to jimandjoy@ewtn.com. And today, our guest is Anthony DeStefano. He is a best-selling Catholic author of many books for children and adults, and his latest children's book is Greenly is Growing. And you can get this beautiful book at ewtnrc.com. Yeah. Well, I'm excited to have Anthony on, but one of the things this book is about changes. And we've had a change in our life, and we don't have a picture, but we'll have it for you next week, is we had our granddaughter, one of our 17 grandchildren, they got engaged Saturday night. And so we have this beautiful young man, Nash, and he and Natalie have been dating for a while. And he came to the house, we all grilled him and met him, and he passed the fire test. And so we were delighted. We got a phone call, and there was going to be a surprise engagement here in downtown Birmingham, and we went up and we participated in that. It was absolutely beautiful. And it's about change. Change is coming. There's going to be a wedding, and hopefully they'll have the best is yet to come for them. We believe and hope and pray.
And Anthony DeStefano and his prolific writings kind of fit into that whole thing, because he's written 25, 26 books, many children's books, and I know that Anthony's heart is to really educate, catechize children, that parents are the ones called to do that. He provides these books to give them wonderful things, that which is good and true and lovely and right. And it's going generation to generation. You know, our children have the books, our grandchildren have the books, and hopefully soon our great-grandchildren will have Anthony DeStefano's books, and they love them.
Yes.
And it's just such an important work. And this Greenly is Growing is his latest book. And so it speaks about kind of the stages, seasons of the year, seasons in your life, liturgical seasons, especially in the season of Lent, moving into Easter. So it really lifts up. There's an Easter kind of message in here. And so it's going to be another wonderful show where we can help equip our children for their lives in this world, as people try to circumvent the role of parents and grandparents to raise up their children in the faith. Anthony DeStefano does a great job of helping us to build our children up, not to tear them down or confuse them. So plenty more to come. We'll be right back. We're hearing about Greenly is Growing. Don't go away.
Welcome back. We're at home with Jim and Joy, and today our guest is Anthony DeStefano, a best-selling Catholic author of many books for children and adults. And his latest children's book is Greenly is Growing. And this beautiful book is available at ewtnrc.com. And you could go to Anthony's website. It's anthonydestefano.com. And this is a great book about Lent and Easter. So if you're looking to get a book to take on the Lenten journey with your children or your grandchildren, this is a great purchase. Now, Anthony, we're so excited to have you back on at home, and we know that this book is a little bit different than some of your other books, but not in the quality. Quality's great, content is great, as only you could put out something that is so great. So tell us how different Greenly is Growing is different from your other books.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. As usual, I love being a guest on your show. I love both of you. This book is different in a number of ways. First of all, it's being published by Penguin Random House, which is the largest publisher in the world. And you know, I want to get my books and the Christian message out to as many people as possible, but they wanted something with a little bit more of a broad message. Usually my books are very Catholic. They attach themselves to a character in the Bible or a Bible story. This does something else. It ties into the message of the resurrection and the central message of Christianity, but it does it in a more broad way. The name Greenly is Growing refers to the character of Greenly, who we meet as a little girl of 3.5 years old in the springtime of her childhood. But the book follows her through the summer of her youth and the autumn of her adulthood. And at the end of the book, she's actually an old gray-haired lady knitting by the fire in the winter of her life. And you know, so it shows a person's whole entire life. It aligns the seasons of a person's life with the seasons of the year. And I wanted to write a book like this, as you mentioned, to try to help children not to be afraid of change, because children are afraid of change, to show them that they are meant to grow in the same way that the flowers, the trees, and the grass grow. But most important, to show that there is potential joy in every season of life. Even in the winter of life, there's always a new springtime right around the corner. And for Christians, that new springtime is heaven and life everlasting with God and the resurrection. So this book is meant to be a hopeful book and to impart a whole life's perspective to children.
Yes.
Well, Anthony, I think of, I guess, the first book that you wrote seems like ages ago now. You know, A Travel Guide to Heaven, and I got to kind of read that, and now so many books later. But you know, you don't have in this book, this is about heaven, this is about you know, the season of Lent, this is about. It's just kind of a mild thing that's, you know, very readable and wouldn't put off somebody who's like, well, I'm not very religious and I don't go to church or whatever. But you're saying that the realities are there, the themes are there, that are very clear to those of us that are dedicated Christian people or Catholic people, and somehow they're written on the hearts of people as well. This whole idea of you saying there's a lot of heaven here. There's a lot of growing through the stages of life. You are going to think about, well, I'm moving towards the conclusion of my life, because you write your books not only for the children, but for adults. So they'll be able to get these messages, is what you're saying.
They certainly will. They certainly will. The book mentions God. It's not a godless book at all. It mentions God and the symbolism of the resurrection. You can't miss it if you are a Christian. But you know, we're living in this day and age where the society is so totally against us. It's so polarized. We know this, and we want to evangelize everyone, and we want to especially evangelize the children. So sometimes we have to use creative ways of getting to them, because sometimes people will just dismiss something right immediately.
Right.
If there's you see the Bible, and all of a sudden you think you're going to be preached at.
Right.
So this is a way of preaching at people without preaching at them.
Well,
But yet the themes of perspective, especially, you know, I think that's something that even the most mainstream secular people can appreciate, because they know that this generation of children and adults too, we're so concerned about instant gratification. We want this, that, and the other thing. We want it now, and if we don't get it, you know, watch out. But that's a recipe for a very unhappy life, because as you know, we don't get what we want right now. And in the present moment, what we often get is irritation and pain and suffering. So you have to take a long view. And I love that saying in Latin from the old medieval monks, quid hoc ad eternitatem. What is this in light of eternity? What is this little problem I'm experiencing now, you know, in comparison to the big pictures of life, death, judgment, hell, heaven? You have to have a long view if you want to avoid being frustrated and anxiety-ridden. You have to have a long view. And so part of what this book is trying to do is impart a little bit of perspective. It's never too early to teach children about perspective. Otherwise, they're going to be doomed to have a very unhappy, miserable life.
Right. And we, in this culture, everything is the culture of meology. It's all about me. When am I going to get it? How is this going to happen for me? And we, as Christians, Catholic people, as we raise up our children, we are anti the culture, and we're just saying, no, it's not all about you. We belong in a family. This is our family culture, and this is how we go through life. And there's going to be lots of people in our lives who go through trials and sufferings, and we want to accompany them, and we want to journey with them on this way.
Yeah.
Well, tell our family, is there a real Greenlee? Does she exist?
Yes, she does. I have a goddaughter named Greenlee, and she's very precious to me. I love her very much, and I've always wanted to write a book for her, but she has a kind of uncommon name. And I thought to myself, though, I've always wanted to write a book about perspective. I've always wanted to write a book that was different and showed a child grow up and actually become an older person. And I thought that the name Greenlead actually fit here because I think it makes people recall the word evergreen, and it makes people think of growth and spring. And so I think it actually worked out to be the perfect name for this particular book. It's uncommon enough to be universal, and I think many people will be able to relate to it. So it's just a happy coincidence.
I think that is such a blessing for Greenlee. You know, I'm thinking of C.S. Lewis, and didn't he write numerous books for, I don't know, his nephews and other people, and that you would do that. Greenlee, little difficult name. How can I write a book about that? And the way you did it is just really, really super. And back to what you were sharing earlier, though, which is, you know, really a theological perspective and a life perspective, because you use the word perspective, a world of immediacy now. And children in particular, even if they don't have a philosophy, that's kind of where they are. So you're beginning to move them along a little bit and helping them even at an early age to say, you know, things develop over time, and people's bodies and ways change and relationships change, and we grow older and new people come to be. So you're saying that there's that perspective in this sudden, immediate culture, or if things aren't going quite well, then let's just kind of end things. You take the long haul perspective, and this is critical. Speak about that, how critical that is with passing on the faith to our children, to our grandchildren, in the midst of a culture. As Joyce said, we're counter-cultural, but we also want to transform the culture. You know, Christians and Catholics, not only just being against things, but it's saying, look how beautiful this is. And it's a beautiful book. I've never seen so many colors in your books, and flowers and birds and things just growing and happening. So that's a lot that I've said there. Maybe your response to those things.
Yeah, there's so many points that I can make about so many of those things that you just said. One of the things, though, about children being so focused on me, you know, that's true for all of us. Unfortunately, we're getting more selfish as a society. But I think that if you could impart this vision to a child that someday they're going to be an adult, someday they're going to be older, my goodness, this is something that we need to impart to teenagers, because they don't think about this either. I think that if you're able to impart that vision, then you might actually get them to feel a little bit more empathy.
Yeah.
You know, and if you feel empathy and you realize that, hey, I'm going to be old someday like this person in this book, then maybe you'll be nicer to the older people in your life, or your grandparents, or what have you. You know, Orson Welles had that famous line once in one of his movies. He was speaking to a kid, and he said to him, you know, I know what it's like to be young, but you don't know what it's like to be old.
Ooh.
So I think that anytime we can try to even give them a glimpse of the big picture, it's going to be something that might help them with their empathy, and then that empathy might translate into action, okay, in terms of the corporal and spiritual works of mercy, etc. So that's just one thing that I'm trying to accomplish here.
Well, I think you do a good job with it. I'm a grandmother, and my grandchildren have seen me get sick, and Bobo get sick, and they're concerned for us. Of course, their greatest fear is, are you going to be okay? And they journey with you, and then they write you cards, or they'll bake you cookies, and they're learning, how can I minister to you? And you know, we always tell our children and our grandchildren, when you're happy, I'm happy. When you're sad, I'm sad. And we all go through the seasons in our lives, and I love how you so incorporated it with the seasons of life in winter, spring, summer, fall, because we all, every single one of us, whether we're young or old, we're all in those seasons. We're participating with life, with nature as it goes. And winter is cold, and it's very drab, and there's no life around, but yet you can have joy and hope in the midst of it. And it's really all about an attitude on the journey, whether you're in springtime, whether you're happy, sad. But now we have so many kids who are depressed, and they're in the springtime of their life, and hopefully they're looking to the elders, say, how am I going to get through this? Let me hold your hand and you show me how I get out of this desperate moment, right?
Right. You know, we're in a time and in a country where we worship youth, you know, and the older you get, the more your opinions are dismissed and the more you're discarded. It's not exactly that way in places like Italy or Japan where the older people are revered. But in this country, we worship youth so much, and it's an important lesson to get into the minds of young people and to get into the minds of teenagers and adults that every season of life has something to offer. Yes, childhood is magic. It is a magical golden period where the whole world is new. G.K. Chesterton said that inside those little oversized heads of children, it's like the universe on the seventh day of creation, because everything is new and wondrous. And youth itself is beautiful because it's the time of freedom and first love and no real responsibilities yet. There's a place for that kind of fun. But adulthood is wonderful because it's the time, well, you're running the world and you're mature and you have the incomparable joy of raising young children. And even old age, as you said, in the winter of your life, yes, there are challenges. Old age is not for sissies. You know, there are health challenges, there are physical challenges, but hopefully at that time you've also, you have less responsibilities and you can, instead of having the awesome responsibility of raising children, hopefully you could delight in grandchildren. Hopefully you've acquired some wisdom that you could pass on to others. And hopefully you've gotten a little closer to God and you're able to experience a more tranquil kind of deep peace. So every single age it has the potential for great joy. You know, the Bible says over 100 times, be not afraid. Be not afraid, because you have to trust that God's got a plan. And that's why I think the most important line in this book is one of the lines in the end that says, but brave the harsh weather, don't be afraid. The end of the year, God also has made. And you just have to trust that he's got a plan for the big picture.
And you know, I get to be with my grandchildren often, and one of the things, I have one grandson who's allergic to bees. Well, I pity the bee that comes around my grandson because it will be dead in a nanosecond. And so they're like, no, are you not afraid? And I will kill, destroy, whatever needs to be done. So they will not be afraid. And they have to see a life lived of someone who is not afraid, so they can have courage, they can have fortitude, they can have perseverance as they do the journey and be hopeful. It's like, you know, we all know that winter's here. In many parts of the country, it's freezing and it's awful, but not so in Alabama right now. But in those places, there is spring coming. There will be new buds and new birds and new life, and it will be beautiful. And it's a way to represent hope and faith and to believe yet again that the best is yet to come again in all of our lives.
Yes, and you hit there on the key meaning of this book about children are very afraid of change. Imagine if you're small, the world is a big place, and if you're young, the world is a new place. Things that adults take for granted, children are petrified about. Going to get a haircut, going to a routine doctor's appointment, a dentist appointment, first day of school. Things that are more serious, like the death of a pet or the death of a grandparent. These things are terrifying to children, and yet we know that, as you said, change is a part of life. But that's become such a cliche, hasn't it? Change is a part of life. How do we get that across to children? And that's what I've tried to do in this book. I've tried to make that truth, that change is a part of life, resonate more by showing Greenlee change. We see her go from a little girl to an old lady in 32 pages. That's a big change. And during that whole time period, she's smiling, she's exuberant, she's happy, she's very youthful and has a zest and joy for life, even at the end.
Yes.
So I'm trying to get a point, this Christian teaching that good can come out of everything, even out of suffering, even out of change that children are very afraid of.
Yeah. Well, it's the book, and the illustrations. I want to talk about that in the next show on tomorrow. But every page is peaceful. It's a little bit of heaven in the illustrations. It's very calming. It's very peaceful, colorful. It's kind of like puts you at rest as a human being as you're going through. It's kind of like, okay, this is lovely. This is idealistic in the world, and this is a comforting place.
It's idealistic, but it's also all the different colors and things are real things. I mean, they're birds, they're flowers. You know, it's reality. And when you see it in that way, it just kind of bursts, it brims over with all this goodness that is really part of real reality. If we can keep our eyes on those things and the Lord, we can go through every stage and phase of life. Anthony, so glad we're going to have you again tomorrow to unpack this book more fully. Thank you for the gift that you've given to the domestic church and to those that don't even connect with the church, because these things are already written on their hearts and you're pulling it forth. Thank you, brother. We'll talk with you again tomorrow. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
The book is Greenlee is Growing, EWTN Religious Catalog, right?
Yes.
EWTN Religious Catalog. Go there to get that. We'll be right back. Plenty more to come. Please don't go away.
Welcome back. We're at home with Jim and Joy, and we're just going to give our little closing on Greenlee is Growing. You know, in my life, I've tried to make change my friend, because change is constant. God is constant and change is constant. And so, you know, when change comes in and of our person, we could resist change. That's not how it's supposed to be. That's not how it was. And then you miss the change. You miss the grace of the change. And so if it evokes in you fear and anxiety and worry, those are all opportunities to grow, to say, Jesus, this is how I'm feeling, and I need for you to come and help me to grow in my virtues in this transition of my life, be it physical, emotional, spiritual, whatever is going on, because change is constant, and we're going to change even until our death, and then Jesus will change us into the new and improved versions of ourselves, and we get to spend all eternity with him. Now that's a happy thought, and that's got to make you happy. Yeah. So yes, we need to make change our friend. Yes, it is constant. I have a lot of people in my life who are going through some difficult changes. Some are happy changes. I mean, we're in the seasons of many places with a lot of relationship, and you can be a vessel of peace. You could be a vessel of hope and in love, and certainly all the people in your life who are going through changes, you could be a person of prayer for them, that God would give them the grace to go through this change, whatever is happening, in whatever seasons of their life, and to love well.
And so get the book, read it to your child, to your grandchild, to your great-grandchild, because there's so many lessons that are in here, as Joy has said, about the different stages and phases of life, and seeing Greenlee at age 3 and then old, see Greenlee doing so many physical things, and then in the wintertime she's knitting, and there's children, there's grandchildren that are there, so that you can say, what do you think about with this? What do you think of Greenlee's face from this part to this part, what Greenlee was doing, all the people that are around, and have that conversation about change and about aging. And again, Anthony's favorite verse, he said, was about winter. So we have spring, summer, autumn, fall, and winter. He says, but brave the harsh weather and don't be afraid. The end of the year God also has made, for glorious springtime will be back, and then new joys and new life will rise up again. And that's the message of Lent, the cross, but there's something else that's coming. Yes. Even at the end of winter, there's something else that's coming. Something great is coming. There's a whole new life and a fullness of life. And that's our message of hope. So be filled with hope, whatever stage and phase you are in life. How God loves you, how God's plan for you is for good and not for evil, to give you a future that's full of hope. God bless you. God bless all of your loved ones. Keep it on EWTN. Bye now.